Let's get started with part 3 of Lab 8. And here we're going to be once again looking at the transport of sand, this time along a barrier island called Fire Island in New York. And we're going to be looking at it over a fairly large region and over a fairly large period of time. So it's explained here, but let's just take a look at the map for a minute. This is Fire Island off of Long Island, New York. This is the Fire Island Inlet where boats can get in and out of the Great South Bay. And there's a lighthouse that's located here. And this lighthouse, when it was built, it was on the very edge of this spit, sort of this building off the end of this barrier island. So this was the end of the lighthouse back when it was when the lighthouse was built. Since that time, Fire Island has built out in this direction here. This is showing a detailed map in this box here. Fire Island has built out here until a jetty was built. And once the jetty was built, it was built to keep the Fire Island Inlet open. It's been pretty successful. And so this is when the sand stopped migrating out in this direction here. So you're going to be asked to do some things. You're going to be asked to show the direction of longshore current and beach drift in this area. You're provided the dates for when the lighthouse was built, 1825, and when the jetty was built, 1940. You can assume that all of that accumulation took place during that time. So you'll know the amount of time, and then you can measure on the map what the distance is from the Fire Island Lighthouse out to the jetty, and you'll use that in order to determine the rate at which this entire sandy area was built up. Then we're going to assume that the average height of Fire Island is about 20 feet high, 20 feet above sea level, and you're going to measure the width of it in various places. And you can pick 5 different places to measure the width, but somewhere between the Fire Island Lighthouse and the jetty, you'll just pick 5 different places and see how wide it is using this measuring tool here. You'll put that in the table, and then you'll take an average of it. So if it's 20 and 30 and 40 and 20 and 40, the average would be 30, and you'll just report the average here. You just add all those up and divide by 5. And then once you have the width, the height, and the length, you're able to multiply those 3 things together and come up with the volume. And so the volume is just going to be 20 feet times whatever your length is times whatever your average width is. That's going to give you the volume of sand that's been deposited on Fire Island during this time period. And then you're given an average density of sand here for 22 cubic feet. That would weigh a ton, approximately 2,000 pounds. And then you can just take however many cubic feet you have, divide by 22, and that's how many tons of sand have been deposited by nature from that period between 1825 and 1940 in order to build out this land area, this beautiful beach here.